Hey there! If I told you you had a story I wanted to hear, would you believe me? What about the whole world wanting to hear it? Hi, I'm Christine, and if you don't know me, let me share with you who I am. I'm Christine, and I am a mother who lost her 17-year-old daughter on New Year's Day 2007. My family and I were in an auto accident, and I don't say that to make you feel sad for me. Rather, I share with you that even though something has happened to me, that I can still live life to the fullest. Now, on to my special guest here at Stories of Hope. Have you ever been curious about seeing someone and you wonder what happened to them, or someone's different and you wonder, I want to know more about that person? Or you think you're alone on something and someone's like, I'm all by myself, until you meet someone and you go, no, really? Me too. Mm-hmm. So today, my guest is Jaimie Moore, and Jaimie Moore has a disability, but not just any disability. You know, we look at people and think they're different and they're disabled in so many different areas. Today, Jaimie's going to share with us what her disability is, and it doesn't stop her from being a proud wife and mother of 2 boys. Jaimie has what we call a teratoma tumor that she had when she was born. And with that being said, I'm going to let Jaimie tell us what that is.
Yes. So I was actually born about 3 months premature. I was born at 29 weeks. My mom's a small lady, and she actually kind of had figured something was wrong with her pregnancy. She's growing big pretty fast. So it wasn't until she actually went to a different doctor that they discovered that I indeed had something called a teratoma tumor.
Okay.
What that is, this is a very rare tumor. Most doctors will never see that type of tumor in their practice. A lot don't even know what it is. I have to usually explain it when I go to doctor's appointments. Okay. Basically what that kind of tumor is it can be cancerous or non-cancerous, and it usually grows in the brain or in the mouth. So I actually was very fortunate to have it on my lower spine. So when I was born, I was actually born dead. They had to revive me several times. And about 8 hours after birth, I went in for emergency surgery to have the tumor removed. They actually believe that it might have been an error in twinning at one point, because twins run in my mom's side of the family. Okay. So when they actually removed the tumor, they found like another set of kidneys, some of the liver, stuff like that inside the tumor.
Wow.
So they think it didn't separate or something at some point. Okay. So they removed the tumor 8 hours after birth. I was in ICU for a few months. Everything went good after that. And then when I was 9 months old, the tumor actually grew back.
It grew back?
Yes.
In the same place?
Mm-hmm. Okay. So they think that they just didn't get it all out the first time, so that's why it came back to the surface. Okay. And that's actually when it caused me to have a spinal cord injury. So I have what is known as L4 paralysis. So I have limited mobility basically from the waist down. And I do walk with forearm crutches and leg braces. I have no control, basically from my knees down. I can move my upper legs, but the braces are to help stabilize me. I can't move my feet, anything like that. So yes, they went back in and removed it again. They actually thought it was going to be cancerous that time. They thought that's why it grew back, because they thought maybe it was cancer. But thankfully it wasn't. I have had a total of 19 surgeries to get where I am today.
How old are you?
I'm 30 years old.
30. Yep. And those surgeries, are those in what time frame?
It was more, I would say more in the first maybe 6 years of my life. Okay. I've had hip surgeries, back surgeries. Because I was born premature, my hip sockets weren't fully formed, so they had to kind of create sockets essentially. Wow. For my hip bones. A lot of back surgeries, reconstructive surgeries. So
that you'd be able to walk or do things. So I remember when you were filling out my my little questionnaire about this, because I'd never heard of this. We hear about tumors, but we think of them in a different form.
Right.
I've actually had one on my wrist, but this one's a completely life-changing thing. Mm-hmm. So when you were born this way and all these surgeries had to take place, was there the thought and being told to your parents that you weren't going to be able to walk or form any sort of regular functions that the rest of us did?
Yeah, so my parents were actually told, one, I'd be lucky to survive. Wow. And 2, if I did survive, I'd be in a vegetative state my whole life. Like, I wouldn't be able to...
Those are reassuring words, especially as a new parent.
It's horrible. Okay. I was actually lucky. I was born here in Phoenix, Arizona. Okay. I was lucky to be born when I was, because one of 2 doctors in the entire country that specialize in these tumors happened to be here for a meeting the week my mom went to labor with me.
Oh, wow.
So I got very lucky.
A miracle baby,
yes.
for sure.
Yes, my poor mom had to be cut side to side just to get me out. So she's been through a lot too. But so I was very fortunate to have a specialist just happen to be here for a meeting.
Was this her first child? You being her first?
No, my second.
Okay,
Yep,
so this was a complete shock to mom as well. That she's thinking.
And it's nothing hereditary. It's just
Like
a
a
random
vagina?
fluke. No. Like they said, it might have been just like an error in twinning where the eggs or whatever didn't separate. But yeah, it's nothing hereditary, nothing that she could have prepared herself for. So.
Okay, so when you think about children, as you are a mom, and I am as well, then you also think about the first stages of walking and talking and all that stuff. Were these things, you already explained?
Yes.
Processes.
So I want to say maybe I was like 2 or 3 when I first started actually walking with a walker. I was in like a full body cast pretty much from the chest down after several of my surgeries. So it took me a little bit longer to get me like up and on a walker. But yes, I did walk with a walker for a few years, and then that's when they transitioned me to the forearm crutches.
Okay.
And I mean, I've been using those, I want to say probably since I was 4 or 5.
Okay.
So they're kind of like my legs.
They are your legs,
Yeah.
and you move around really well with those. Mine
thank
too.
you.
I mean, you're like, you need this, boom, you're gone. I'm like, whoa, where'd you go? And I'm like, yeah. So, and you know, there's some questions I always tell people. Just because I ask a question doesn't mean that it requires an answer. Okay. So the next question is, how tall are you?
I am 4'9", so I'm pretty.
Is your
on the
mom?
small side? My mom's small too. She's only 5'1". So
Okay. I was
trying to
wondering-
get it from there, but I think some of it also comes from like all the surgeries I've had in my back.
That was my question.
So I'm sure that's where a little bit of my height difference comes from.
So did you ever feel different when you were growing up with the kids that are running around?
Yes. Yeah. I mean, I was bullied a lot in school.
And that's what
It's
kids
kind
do
of-
without understanding.
Exactly. It's it's just how kids are. They don't understand. A lot of kids
No.
don't understand disabilities. And I've had a lot of those people like later in life come to me and apologize to me, for
Because they've
bullying
gone through
me or
something and then
they understand as they grow up.
Yeah.
I wouldn't say it was like horrible per se. It just made me stronger. I had my good group of friends, but yeah, I mean, it was a little harder. You compare yourself.
What do you do even at this age, as you probably already know?
Yeah, every once in a
Not
while.
as much, but
No.
when you're younger, you want to be playing
Right.
like everybody
You
else
want to
does.
do
You want
what
to do
everyone else is doing, ride a bike,
Yeah,
all that kind of stuff. And I did learn how to ride a bike.
You did?
But I wasn't until like 10 or 11, so I mean, it was
Did you-
later.
Okay.
But when you're younger, you see
Everybody
your
else.
friends out riding their bikes out front. And
Jumping, riding
Right.
bikes, doing the things
jump
that...
rope,
Mm.
playing on the playground and stuff like that.
Was there a time where you thought that this was just not something you wanted to continue to feel, that you could do what everyone else is doing, and you saw like, I can't do this. What does that mean for me, for my life?
I'm sure I had moments of doubt. I guess there's times where you're kind of hard on yourself. But I think at that same time in those moments, it made me push myself harder to try those things.
Okay.
And I would usually accomplish whatever I set myself to do.
So when you say push yourself, when would you say you felt at an age was when you were pushing yourself?
I'd say 8 or 9,
Oh, wow.
somewhere around there.
Okay.
Like I moved. My grandma passed away, and she was kind of like a caregiver for us when we were younger. When my parents worked, both my parents worked full time to provide the best care for me that they could. So after my grandma passed away, that's when we actually moved into Peoria, Arizona. We went to Cerro Verde. It was kind of there, I think, when I made that transition, that I kind of started pushing myself to do more. I think that was kind of a turning point for me after my grandma passed away, and I transitioned.
She was no longer the caretaker, and you had to figure out how to do these things on your own. That would push anybody. When all of a sudden you're used to having something, you no longer have it anymore. Or in your case, you were born with something that everyone else, and I say this often, we take for granted that we have it in our lives, and then all of a sudden something changes it. And you were actually born with something that you wouldn't know anything different on how to do. With
So
the rest
like this
of
is kind of essentially normal life to me. I mean, yeah, I've had my challenges, of course, but I've met people who have had accidents or something later on in life, and I think it's a lot harder.
Yeah, or an
to
illness
adjust.
that now takes place, like a tumor that would have done something where you were already born into this.
Right, exactly.
Wow, so you're a fighter.
Yes, thank you.
Yes, I love that. Now, we had stated that you are a mom of 2 boys.
I am.
And you just shared with me how your mom had gone through a pregnancy and had to go through these different changes to be able to give birth to you. How did that affect you? Were you worried about having children that would have had the same thing? Or
So I had asked, my OB, I don't know, maybe 18, 19 years old if I would ever be able to have kids. And he was pretty laid back about it. He was like, yeah, I don't see why not. The only thing is with spinal cord injuries, a lot of people are infertile, depending on their level of injury.
Okay.
So that was kind of something that was up in the air. We didn't know if I was going to be able to get pregnant or not. And it just kind of happened.
And not once, but twice.
Yeah, I've
That's
had
awesome.
2 boys. I have a 4-year-old who actually be 5 in 2 weeks.
Okay.
And then I have...
That's the one that just gave it a high five?
Yeah,
Oh,
that's Logan.
love it.
And then I have another son who just turned 1 in November.
Oh,
So,
little one.
yeah, and they're perfectly healthy. I had pretty easy pregnancies. The first one I did develop a blood clot at 9 weeks. They think that's because of my limited mobility, so I didn't move around as much as like the average person would. So I did have to be on blood thinner shots throughout the whole pregnancy. Same with the second one, it's just like a precaution.
Okay.
But I had 2 C-sections. Everything went great with my C-sections, no complications.
Okay.
Healing went good, so yeah, I'm very fortunate to have my little baby.
So your disability doesn't stop you from continuing to enjoy life and being a mom and all those other things that the people get to do. Now you and I have established, and I didn't know this until we had talked, that you went to school with my daughter,
Yes.
Nicole. So not one school, but 2.
Yep. Elementary school and high school.
Elementary, and I apologize for not remembering because
That's okay.
those are different things.
It was a long time ago.
Yes, it was. And so when you're in elementary school, you already shared with them the differences that children are
Right.
when they can be mean.
Mm-hmm.
So now we talk about high school.
It was kind of the same in high school. You have those kids that kind of think they're better than you, or you're an easy target to be picked on. And that's where actually like a lot of the people that later came and apologized to me came from high school, because they realized, you know, as they turned into adults and a little bit later on down the road,
Life happens.
Exactly. So I was always appreciative of that. I mean, I don't hold grudges against anybody. Again, I think at, you know, your early teens, you still don't fully understand. So
Until you had something either happen to you or met someone that's close to you that had something happen, and you're like,
Exactly.
oh, I just
You
need an
just don't
aha
understand,
moment.
right?
No.
So it's nothing that I've like, you know, held a grudge over or anything, but it's nice to have random people just kind of apologize to me throughout the years. It's nice of them.
So do you have anything right now that keeps you from doing anything that a normal person, we say normal, there's so many different normals these days, like driving or?
I drive actually perfectly normal, so I didn't get my license until I was 18. I did do the behind the wheel program through Centennial senior year, but we thought I had to get like hand controls, and we tried a few different types of equipment, and none of them really worked well. And I was actually at my dad's house one weekend, and I think we were both just frustrated, and he just told me to get in the car, and he's all, hit the gas, hit the brake. And
now how can you do that?
so I have control of my upper legs, so I can move my legs from, like, control from here. Now I can't move my feet up and down, but I have the support of my braces, so they keep
I
me
just
straight.
noticed that. Okay.
So I never had to have special equipment.
wow.
I do sit really close to the steering wheel.
God
But
forbid that the steering wheel has the airbag that goes off, so that would be a horrible.
that is a little bit of a worry sometimes. I have considered maybe like getting the airbag disconnected.
Okay.
Something I have to check with the dealership. But yeah, I mean, as far as driving, I drive perfectly normal. I do have a car with a backup camera, which really helps me being as small as I am. So that helps. But yeah, I mean, I don't have too many limitations really. I drive normally, I do everything around the house normally. I'm a stay-at-home mom, so my husband works full-time to support us.
Okay.
So I take care of the babies Monday through Friday.
Now, how did you meet your husband?
Through mutual friends, actually. We met 2008, right after high school.
Okay.
It was kind of like a freak meeting, actually. I was with another friend, and he had told me one of his friend's car broke down, and when they needed to go help him, and that was my husband. So yeah, that's kind of how we met.
I love that.
Kind of a weird, random way to meet, but yeah. We started dating. We've been together since 2009.
Okay.
Got married in 2013.
Okay.
So yeah.
So with the limitations that you've shared, or there aren't any limitations, it sounds like you've done quite a bit because you push yourself. Is there anything you're working on right now that would help other people that maybe don't have an understanding of what the teratoma tumor is, or give an education to help other people in case they? Okay.
So I'm in the process of starting a YouTube channel. It's kind of a work in progress. I'm still learning how to edit. It's called More Than Capable, my last name being Moore.
Okay.
I also have an Instagram.
I want to lean into the camera. There you go.
I also have an Instagram called More Than Capable as well. I kind of just make random posts throughout the week, different things, whether it be just about me or my family. But yeah, I am kind of trying to get
So are you
started.
open enough, since you shared that you have an Instagram account? It seems like everyone's got some sort of a social media of some sort that's their target to be able to share what their stories are, what they're wanting to let the world know. I recently just got an Instagram, not even, I think a week ago today.
Okay.
I'm still just getting used to it, and so I am following your stuff. Do you have, since you're using that as your avenue for helping other people, do you want to share that Instagram account so other people can follow you if they want to know more what you're doing?
Yeah, it's called More Than Capable, MOORETHAN, and then Capable, CAPABLE.
Okay.
All one word.
Okay.
So yeah, it's pretty easy to find me, just a general spelling of More. But yeah, that's my Instagram. It's the same spelling and everything for my YouTube channel as well. But I don't have anything posted on
Not
YouTube
yet, but you never know, right?
Soon.
Gotta start somewhere.
Yeah, exactly.
I'm admitting that one too. So I always ask everyone this question because, as you've known my story and you knew my daughter Nicole Marie, I make it to where people know that it's okay, that even though you have something different that is about you or has happened to you, it doesn't mean that you have to be different about your life. You can actually enjoy life to the fullest, as you've explained that you do.
Right.
What legacy do you want to leave?
Just never take no for an answer. Don't let people put limitations on you. I mean, I think if my parents had listened to doctors and didn't try, things with me, I wouldn't be where I am. So I definitely have to credit my parents for everything that they've done to get me where I am. My grandma too. My grandma that helped us out before she passed away. My parents never told me no. My parents never told me I couldn't do something.
They didn't say you didn't have limitations. They
Exactly.
said you're just
they treated me just like everybody else.
I love that.
I think that's a big factor too. I've never owned a wheelchair in my life. Doctors told me, you should have a wheelchair if you need it.
As a backup, because in case something that they would think.
And I have one now, just like if we go on like vacation and it's like a lot of walking or something like that. Like we went to Disneyland in September.
I'd want a wheelchair.
Yeah, yeah, that's a lot of walking. So I have one now for stuff like that. As I've gotten older, my wrist have kind of gotten a little worse because that's where I bear, all my weight.
Okay.
But yeah, I think that's my biggest thing that I want to leave is just don't let anybody put limits on you.
I think sometimes we put limits on ourselves because we, like you said earlier, we compare ourselves.
Right.
Not consciously, but subconsciously and consciously.
Right.
When we think, oh, that person's got this or that person can do that. Well, and what I've learned is you can do just about anything.
Exactly.
As long as you're believing in yourself, right?
That's the biggest thing, yeah.
And with what you're doing, as I always talk about, there's always hope. And there's always a belief in yourself to know that you can do it. And it might take some extra time.
Absolutely. And that's kind of been my thing. It's taken some extra effort for things. But I'm here today and I have, all the things I do. I'm happily married and mom of two. I've gone to college and graduated from Grand Canyon University in 2017.
Wonderful school.
So, yeah, love it.
So
everything doctors told me I couldn't do, I've done.
It's almost like, and I do this all the time, don't tell me I can't do something, because I'm going to show you at least attempted, or that I did do it. Yeah, watch me, don't tell me no. And if it's no for now.
Exactly.
Or it's you saying no, but I'm going to find a yes.
Yes,
exactly.
exactly.
I'm going to show you that it was a yes.
Exactly.
I love that. Thank you.
Thank you.
Share the Instagram account or your Facebook account again, so that in case someone didn't catch it.
It is More Than Capable, all one word. Again, my last name, Moore, and then THAN. CAPABLE.
Okay.
Again, I don't have videos yet on YouTube, but that is a work in progress.
Everything is.
But I do have my Instagram up and running, so
perfect.
So check me out there.
And if anyone didn't get that information and someone has a story or they want to reach Jaimie, you can also reach me by email, and that is storiesofhope.myjourney@gmail.com. And soon I will have my website up too, and my Facebook. But I have an Instagram account, I'm still learning, so I'm not going to give that information out quite yet when I'm not sure of it. Thank you so much for your time and educating me. Was there anything else that maybe you wanted to share that I didn't answer?
Nothing I can think of
No.
at the moment.
I think you're very brave.
Thank you.
And I think that your courage and giving hope to other people that limitations is only within your mind,
Exactly.
not within your physical being.
Yep, very true. You can do whatever you put your mind to.
Thank you, Jaimie,
Thank
very
you.
much. I appreciate that. And I will see you on our next episode. And stay tuned because I can't tell you what it is. Have a great